hair. It's not about, I mean, it's about the lace, don't get me wrong. It's about the lace, but it's about the hair. Like my hair needs to move. Like I need it to move and be authentic. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's your favorite Gem African queen, and today we are getting into vendors. So if that's something you're interested in, then keep watching. Okay, so I will say that I am feeling a little bit under the weather just because I went and got my vaccine yesterday and it's kind of hitting me a lot harder than I expected. So just bear with me. I promise you guys this is really, really good information that no one really wants to give you. So let's first start with vendors from China. So my experience with vendors from China haven't been the best. So at first I was trusting them because I was like, man, like it's cheap hair, might as well. The prices are really affordable. You can buy a lot for a little bit of money. So I was just like, you know what? That's what I need to do. Like, this is it. I bought HD laces. I bought bundles. Anything that I need, everything that I needed, I was able to buy. The issue that I had with buying hair from China is that I'm pretty sure that they use Remy hair. And if you're not familiar with what Remy hair is, it's really just all the strands that didn't make the cut. And then they chemically do things to it to make it look appealing, like it's human hair, but it's really not human. I mean, it is human hair, but it's like a very low grade of human hair. The hair probably lasts you about a month. It's not good quality hair.
So I thought I would add a clip for you guys just so you can see what the hair that I received from a vendor in China looked like. As you can see, it doesn't really move the way it should move. But the hair that I have on my head in that clip is from a vendor in India. So you can actually kind of see both of them in wig form. But overall, I feel like it's a wig that you can just wear one time, maybe a weekend, and then put it in the closet, pull it out when you're ready to go to Walmart. That's it. Also, I know that my lace is crusty in the original video, but I promise you, as I was editing this, I tinted it.
Alright, so basically every vendor that you see missed messages from, except for the one with the halo emojis, those are vendors from China. And this one with this guy in the pink shirt, he sent me a wig. I'm pretty sure it's just a regular picture of somebody I probably don't know, but I got a wig from them and it was way too small. The hair quality just wasn't great, and the wig didn't last at all. It was $86. Like, the wig was $86. It wasn't bad. You know, like, I'm not an experienced purchaser. So I never felt the need to just like be like, hey, this isn't right, because I don't really know. At that time, I didn't know what was right or wrong. I just knew that this was cheap hair. I'm ready to start my business and let's do it. So it definitely was a no. And then this lady that I missed a call from with the bangs, I used to buy a lot of hair from her, but honestly, it's all about hair quality. If my hair is not moving a month after I bought it, then there's a problem. There's a really big problem. So I just stopped buying from vendors in China just because I wasn't really getting what I needed. The quality that I needed. And I'm the type of person, I was following like Arrogant Tay, I'm following Jonathan, and I'm following other wig makers and creators, and their hair is moving a lot better than my hair. So I'm like, okay, maybe buying from these vendors is not it. Now, granted, the HD lace that I received from a Chinese vendor was yummy. Love mean, it's about the lace, don't get me wrong. It's about the lace, but it's about the hair. Like my hair needs to move. Like I needed to move and be authentic. And that's not what I was getting from vendors in China. So honestly, I really don't recommend vendors in China, but to each his own, of course. The next vendor that I tried from overseas is it's a vendor from India. And at first I was thinking like, okay, maybe I should try Indian bundles because I love Indian women's hair. So I was like, you know what, let me do that because I feel like their hair is a little bit closer to my texture. So I like to have that kind of like, not yucky, but yucky type of look. So I bought from the vendor. It was a really quick process. Honestly, let me put a screen record. Okay, so I used this vendor, which I'm going to put their Instagram in a screen recording right here, just so you guys can see. So I ordered from them February 9th, and I'm pretty sure they shipped out February 9th, and I received my hair ten days later. So February 19th is when I received my hair. So one thing about this vendor, so I send my packages to my mom's house just because it's kind of, my mom's not too far from me, but it's also a way for me to like continuously see her instead of like staying where I'm at. So I always send every package to her house just so I can at least go over there once a week and make sure I check in on them and see them. So I asked this vendor like, hey, not sure when the hair is going to arrive, but can you let me know? And his response was a screenshot saying that it was already delivered, which it was delivered the day before I asked this question. And his response was, are you kidding me? So I started and was like, bet, because I'm not gonna be back. So let me go ahead and, because you may like this vendor, I don't know. This is their Insta, and this is what, hold on. This is a bundle of how the hair came. So it comes in this like light brown. It really doesn't look light brown to you or on camera what I'm looking at, but this is what the hair looked like when I received it. This is just the extra hair that I had. So this is from the Indian vendor that I have on the screen right now. So it kind of looks like, ew, like no, I would never wear that. But honestly, this just needed a little TLC. And when I say TLC, I washed it. And once I washed it and straightened it, it was honestly really good quality hair. And I felt like this was human hair. I really do feel like this is human hair. The issue that I have with this hair is that it flows and it moves with the wind for like the first 2 to 3 days. After that, it kind of gets bogged down by like all the environmental factors. You continuously using like a wax stick or anything that has oil on it. This hair just does not, it absorbs it pretty well, basically. So I had to wash my wig probably about twice a week just because of this issue. I'm honestly not saying that I'm opposed to washing my wig once a week, but when you have hair glue like Erica J's, you do not want to continue to keep applying that all the time because it's really good glue, but it's hair that needs to be washed twice a week. Like, no, this is not matching up. I need a 1 week wash. Every time I reapply my lace, I wash my wig. So I do recommend this hair. I just recommend that you try it out. That sounds better. I recommend that you try this hair. That's it. The last vendor that I have for you guys is a Vietnamese vendor. And honestly, this smile is genuine. Like, I legit cannot believe that this hair is on my head. And yeah. And this is the type of hair, like when I buy hair, this is the type of hair that I want. And honestly, I just washed it. So I washed it and I didn't really straighten. I blow dried it, but I didn't straighten it. I probably straightened like the top part just to make that blend a little bit better. But anything else, I did not do anything to, because I honestly just don't feel well enough to do something right now. So this is how the hair comes. So let me just show you the raw version of the hair. Without it being washed, without it being dyed. I watercolored this hair. This is what I have left from making my wig. And you can just tell like the quality difference versus the one that I had from the IF factory. Like this is it, sis. I wish I had more, because I would love to show you guys how the bundles like really looked, but let me just try and bundle it as much as possible. So this was like the raw version of the hair, and as you can see, it comes pretty black. Like this, you don't really have to dye this hair unless you just want to. Versus this is the hair from a vendor in India, and this is hair from a vendor in Vietnam. The difference is very, very significant. This one I felt like was more of a thick texture. You know what? We're talking about this hair. Let me stop. I cannot stress enough that this is the hair that you need for your business. I feel like this is the type of hair that a lot of people use when it comes to just being like a celebrity stylist. And I could be wrong. They could be using those Cambodian bundles. I mean, everybody buys Cambodian bundles. I've never bought Cambodian bundles, but usually people say they're Cambodian bundles. But this Vietnamese hair, you cannot go wrong. Like, I really want you to try a Vietnamese vendor. And just looking at their Instagram, this is the name of the company. This is where I got this one from, this hair. So, I'm sorry. I'll explain why it's so choppy here in a minute. So you can see that they just have this is really the quality, and I promise you, your hair is going to do just this. Like, you cannot go wrong with a Vietnamese vendor. Like, this is real. This is real. Right here. Look at this. Look at that. Like, so while we're looking at this part, I want to tell you that the biggest issue that I have with buying from a vendor in Vietnam is the fact that they kind of cut. Can you see like that tapered cut? Yeah. That is a problem when you buy like bundles like I did of 14, 16, and 18. It's a really big problem because then the layers don't look, the layers look really choppy. And I honestly am having a really hard time with that. That company, which, not saying that they're a bad company, because they're not. They're a really good company, affordable prices. They messed up on my order and they gave me a 10-inch lace but gave me 14, 16, 18-inch bundles. So your girl is walking around here very choppy. I tried to kind of like layer it earlier. Like, see, you know, like if you really didn't see the back of my hair, you would think that I just had like a, you know, like a short bob, but nah, all that's there. But it's very, very choppy, and that is a really big problem. If you know how to layer your hair, then girl, you're fine. But if you're like me and you're just now learning all of this stuff, you're going to need to figure out how to layer your hair so it blends better. So the last thing about a Vietnamese, or buying from this hair company, not Vietnamese companies in general, because I'm going to try and order from one more just to see how the quality varies. But with this vendor specifically, I had a really hard time bleaching the knots. One, they don't have HD lace, but they have transparent lace, which is perfectly fine. But the knots were really hard to bleach. So I used Quick Blue bleach to bleach it the first time, and all of the knots weren't bleached. I left it on there for about 20 minutes, and I used a 40 volume developer. So I felt like I was doing the right thing, but it just really didn't work out. So this morning, I went ahead and tried to bleach it again, and I left it on there for probably about 40 minutes. And I finally got most of the knots to bleach, but I don't know if you guys can see. But it's still like, you can still see the grids. When I ordered from the vendor in China, their knots were not hard to bleach at all. Like, they were like not there. The vendor I used that's in India, they had HD lace, and the knots were not hard to bleach at all. So I'm hoping that the next vendor that I can find has HD lace and the knots aren't really hard to bleach. I feel like I will keep this vendor for hair, but I do need to figure out another vendor just for the lace purposes. And that's perfectly fine. That's something that we have to do. Sometimes you might like hair from one vendor and you might like the laces from another. It just happens that way. All right, guys, we made it. We made it to the end, and your girl is about to go lay down because this vaccine is really kicking my butt, man. I need to go lay down. So I really thank you for sticking around and watching this video. I really hope that this information helped you. If you decide to use any of the vendors, please leave a comment below and let me know how it worked for you. I really wish you the best in your hair business, and if there are any other vendors that you would like me to mention or try or anything like that, guys, please leave it down below. I really hope this helped you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.